final boarding call for all remaining passengers. Please now make your way to the gate. The podcast is about to begin.
Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About Travel. And today our special guest is Gemma Pinder, who is the head of sales for the North, which is basically just Scotland and north of England, for a product called If Only Holidays. And I've always thought If Only Holidays, what a lovely name for a product. If only. And that's exactly what If Only Holidays do. So welcome to the show, Gemma.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for driving up. Where have you come from this morning?
I live just outside of Leeds in Yorkshire, but I spent half of my life in Scotland, and If Only who I work for are based in Glasgow.
So you're an honorary Scot then?
I'm an honorary Scot, and I've been looking after travel in Scotland for probably about 25 years, so I really am an honorary Scot.
And you're married to a Scotsman?
I'm married to a Scotsman. I spend half my time driving up and down the M74, so it's all good. All good.
Well, thank you. It's a horrible day outside, just on the tail end of Storm Amy, which was horrible.
Yep.
So thanks for coming in, and look forward to just diving in to telling us all about If Only Holidays. So, where did before we do that, let's hear a bit about Gemma.
Okay.
So obviously you've said you looked after Scotland for 20 odd years.
25 years.
So
yeah.
What have you been doing all those years?
So I've started off in travel in 1998. So I've been working in travel for 27 years. I know I don't look old enough. And I've always worked for tour operators. I always wanted to work for a tour operator. And I remember being at school and going to the careers library and looking at things and looking at tour operator. And I was like, that's what I want to do.
And you did?
And I did. And I think a lot of people who do my type of job in travel have started out in a travel agency and kind of ended up being on the road, but I've never been a travel agent. So I've always worked for tour operators. My first couple of years I spent working for a little coach tour operator that was based in my hometown of Ilkley. So that was my first foray into travel, and I worked in reservations for them, and then ended up out on the road promoting their brand with travel agents up and down the country. After I'd not been out on the road too long, I got approached by quite a big brand, First Choice, who was one of the big mainstream tour operators back in the day. And I actually signed my contract with them just before 9/11. Oh. So I don't think I would have ended up going to work for them if I hadn't have done that. But anyway, I started working for First Choice, and I was out on the road for them. And I used to be based out of Glasgow. We had a agency sales office in George Square. I don't know if you remember.
But I don't think I knew you then.
No, probably not.
No.
Probably not.
Probably had spoken to you, but just didn't connect.
It's a long time ago. So after First Choice, I did all my mainstream stuff, and I actually went across to Thomas Cook. So I worked with them, again, another one of the big kind of holiday operators of the time. After I'd done my kind of mainstream stuff, I then jumped into more of the long haul sector, and I was actually with another company which had an office in Glasgow called Travel2. And I was with them for 10 years. So I didn't actually work with agents in Scotland during that time, but I used to be up in Glasgow all the time because that was where head office was. So I really got the kind of bug for that long haul piece. Absolutely loved that. And then I moved across to If Only 7 years ago.
7 years already.
So I don't know if that maths adds up, but it's there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
7 years at If Only. So I feel like I've done it in order. Starting off coach, going mainstream, went into long haul, and I'm at luxury now.
I was going to say a coach company to If Only is one extreme to the other, literally. Yeah. So you can really say you've seen it all, done it all.
I have seen it all, done it all. So,
and If Only is a lovely story. It's a Scottish-based company.
Yeah.
Which started 20 odd years ago.
Yeah, 24 years ago. We'll be 24. We've actually about any time, to be fair. So we were started off by a chap called Brendan Maguire, and he was actually a travel agent but loved the Indian Ocean, loved travelling to Mauritius, loved travelling to the Maldives, and as you do, set up a tour operator to those destinations literally out of the spare room in his house in Bearsden. And 24 years later, here we are. So it really did evolve over the years, and as I say, initially Indian Ocean, but then kind of as the business grew, new destinations were added on. It was all long haul at first, but all focusing on luxury. So nice 4 and 5 star properties. So Asia got added to the portfolio, as did Australasia, then USA, then Caribbean. And then, we got bought by a larger company just before COVID, actually. So Brendan got to retire. He got out of, he could not have timed it better.
That's
he got
best
out of
timing
it.
ever.
Oh,
And I'm sure he sits every day and gives thanks for that.
Yes, very much so. So we got bought by a larger company, which was great, actually, because they were able to give us that kind of financial backing throughout COVID. And since we've joined them, it's given us even better buying power. And we've added some other new bits and pieces to the programme. So we now do Europe as well. And Europe's just been a phenomenal kind of growth area for us because people want luxury and there's so many luxury options in Europe now. They do
want luxury, don't they?
They do. And then the newest kind of baby is our new sports product. So we launched that back in August and that's gotten off to a phenomenal start. So there's lots of strings to our bow.
I know, it's just been a really lovely success story to watch If Only evolve, I think is the right word.
It really has.
Over the years. And, going back 24 years ago, you were talking about Brendan having a love for the Indian Ocean. That was so aspirational in those days. Yeah. People went to Tenerife and Mallorca on holiday. And not that there's anything wrong with these destinations, and there are some phenomenal luxury properties in those destinations. But for people to go long haul was for something really special.
Yeah.
Whereas now, go fast forward 24 years, people are going long haul every year.
Yeah.
The world is a really small place.
Yeah, it's so much more accessible. And as you say, I think when Brendan launched the company, that would have been like a real special trip to go to the Maldives or Mauritius. And it still is a special trip, but you've got a lot of people who'll go there every year for their family holidays now. The way that we travel and obviously the way that we can get around the world has moved on massively in those 24 years.
I think thanks to the likes of Emirates, who, has really joined the world up for the Scottish market.
Massively.
That has made a massive difference.
Yeah, it really has. And how lucky are we in Scotland to have such good flying available from both Glasgow and Edinburgh? You can really get to so many better than Manchester. So I have some other agents kind of in the north of the country, and to get out of Manchester is a nightmare. You're better off coming up to Edinburgh or Glasgow. Thanks. And Emirates was the first one to really
pre-COVID we had 2 flights out of Glasgow. Now we've got the A380 out of Glasgow, and then we've obviously got the Edinburgh flight as well. But it really does, the gateway to the world is Dubai.
Definitely.
It's been phenomenal. But we touched on the Indian Ocean, and when you look at a family, for example, because If Only are not just into couples doing luxury, it's about luxuries for families. That to go to Mauritius in the summer for a family of 4 is so affordable if you compare it to a similar 5-star product in the likes of the Canaries or Greece.
Million percent. And that's it. Quite often we really need to kind of push that, and that's why we work with so many amazing agents like yourselves to kind of get that message across, because people just have this preconception that long haul is going to be expensive, and it doesn't have to be. Obviously, we offer a luxury product, but we have affordable luxury, and as you say, in kind of peak school holiday time, to go to Mallorca or to go to Tenerife, it can be so expensive. And if you have got the kind of willing you to, maybe take a slightly longer flight, the value for money that you're going to get in these long haul destinations and these long haul resorts is just phenomenal.
And also the cultural experience as well. It's, and Europe's, I love Europe as well, because it's so easy to get to, and you don't always want to be sitting on a 10-12 hour flight to get to your destination, but we are so blessed that the world is so accessible now.
Definitely.
So just do it.
I know.
And luxury as well. What does luxury look like? And it looks something different for everybody.
Totally.
And If Only really does tick all the boxes, because you mentioned affordable luxury, which it does. Yeah. But it also does. I won't do unaffordable luxury, but you literally do the full range.
And that's what I really like, that we have got something for everybody. So we have got something for that family who just wants a really nice holiday, but then we've got something for that couple celebrating a special anniversary or someone celebrating a special birthday. So we get the full range. So we might have bookings for a couple of £1,000, and we might have bookings for like 200, 300,000.
I know,
and
crazy. Everything is possible on a budget. If people want If Only to charter their own private plane,
you can
do private charters. Super yachts, really whatever. If Only can do it, which is amazing. And we're really lucky to have such an amazing tour tour operator based in Glasgow as well.
Definitely. That's it. So we've moved now. So we were, when Brendan started us, it was Bearsden, then Mulgai, but we've actually been in Glasgow city centre now since just before COVID, but we're slap bang in the centre of town. So it's really great because we work with so many different suppliers and airlines. So we're literally across the road from Central Station. So we can get all of our suppliers in to spend time with the people that we have actually putting these holidays together for you guys. So it does make a difference.
And your team's hugely experienced.
Yeah.
You know, if as an agent, if I need help with something luxury, my go-to would be If Only.
Yeah.
One, I like to support Scottish companies as well, and I think a lot of Scottish travel agents are like that. But your team are highly experienced, so we know that, you know, if we need to speak to the hotel directly, you've got direct contracts with a lot of the properties and relationships with the sales managers in resort.
Yeah, it does make a massive difference. And we are a luxury tour operator at the end of the day. So when our travel agent partners ring us up, we want them to have a luxury service and speak to somebody who has got expertise and knowledge. And I always, as I say, I've never been a travel agent, and I always take my hat off to you guys, because literally you are expected to be the fountain of all knowledge.
We are.
Well, you are. For every single destination on the planet. But there's always going to be that one place where you've not sold it in a little while, or you want to know what's hot or what's not. And I love the fact that when you pick up the phone to us, you are going to be able to speak to somebody who can give you that information. We invest a lot of time and money in getting our guys out to experience our resorts.
There's generally somebody in the team who's been to the destination.
It's a hard life, but someone's got to do it. But it's invaluable because, you know, that first-hand experience and knowledge can help you as a travel agent get that booking over the line. And our guys are so passionate about what they do as well, and they love to share that knowledge and expertise when we've got our agents on the phone.
And also the fact that you invest a lot of time in working with your suppliers.
Yeah.
So if there is issues, and, you know, we always try and make sure there's no issues on holidays, but things can go wrong.
Yeah.
But to have that direct access to the senior management in these hotels, for us, is such a comfort.
Yeah, it's so important, and it's something that we really value. Like, we value our relationship with our agent partners, but also the relationship that we have with our supply partners is just as key, because we need to have a voice and we need to be heard. So not only to make sure that we're getting the best product at the best price to sell to you guys, but also to have that support if something isn't flowing or working just as we want it. And as you say, we have direct contracts with so many of our hotels, and that's key, not just when you've got maybe a little hiccup, but also at the time of booking now, because I think as a travelling nation, we're very demanding. We know what we want, and we want it to happen. Yeah. And like, I always think back to when I went on holiday with my parents and we used to do allocation on arrival. Can you imagine people doing that now? They'd freak. But we've literally got our agents on the phone, and they've got customers who want to know, like, what colour the bedspreads are. You know, is the sun going to set in front of their balcony? So it can be all really kind of like trivial things like that.
First world problems.
Yeah, first world problems. But then it can be actually important things like, okay, I've got clients with maybe a disability, or they can't walk well, so they've got to have a ground floor room or a walk-in shower. Because we have these relationships, we can speak to our partners when we're making these bookings to ensure we're getting what your customers need.
Yeah. And for a travel agent, that's really key, because one of the things we get asked all the time for families is we want interconnecting rooms. And if I'm dealing with I'm not going to name any of the bigger suppliers, but there's no face to that company. No. So I'm dealing with a call centre in the Philippines or Guatemala or somewhere, and I'm putting through the requests that are actually so important to my customer. Yeah. It will make or break their holiday. But I know if I speak to If Only, you've got a direct contact in the hotel, you can make sure that room is actually going to be interconnecting. Yeah. And
it's so important.
It is important.
It blows my mind sometimes. Like, I speak to some of my agents, and they'll have done bookings with certain, as you say, it tends to be bigger suppliers, and they might have a request for, I don't know, grab rails in the shower, or it's got to be an accessible room or something like that. And they have to physically make the booking and then wait to kind of hear back.
And then be told it's not guaranteed, but we'll do our best. And that's not good enough.
And as you say, it's the make or break. Like, these people are probably not going to be able to travel if they've not got what they require. So yeah, I think it's just invaluable having that relationship, and just the little touches as well. You know, if it's a special celebration like a honeymoon, or celebrating an anniversary or a special birthday, like being able to getting stuff put in the room, be it champagne, flowers, a note. And again, it makes our agent partners look good. It makes the clients have a real great start to the holiday. So it's just the little bits like that you can do when you have those direct relationships.
And also for us, being able to get access to you,
Yes.
you know, because, you know, take COVID as an example. We had customers travelling, you know, on Boxing Day and they tested positive for COVID. You know, I was able to contact you on Boxing Day and get the client sorted. So we so appreciate that. And I don't think customers really understand what goes on behind the scenes.
Definitely not. And I think that's why, you know, consumers can book a holiday themselves.
Of course they can.
And, you know, I think it goes through cycles where everybody likes to play travel agent themselves. But then it takes something like COVID to make people realise the value of booking through a travel agent like yourselves, who then books through a reputable tour operator like ourselves, because things do go wrong. And we live in a world where there's more chance of that happening these days.
Absolutely.
And it's knowing that there's somebody who's got your back and who will pick up the pieces and sort things out and make it right. And it's just, and that's it. Holidays are so important.
It is. And you know, the whole, you book online and you send, something goes wrong, which can happen whether you book online or book through a travel agent, but you send an email and it says, we aim to respond to your request within 3 working days. That could be in nearly a week, 3 working days if you're doing that on a Friday.
You could be on your way back from your holiday by then.
Whereas I know if I can't get somebody in sales, I can literally lift the phone to you and we can, between us, we can make whatever we need to do happen. I posted a funny TikTok this week on our social media, and a really cheeky customer, and I hope he's listening to the podcast, had put up a comment: do people even book with travel agents in 2025? Yes, they do.
Very much so.
Whoever you anonymous person is that's been cheeky on my TikTok, of course they do. And there's really good reasons to why you would book through a travel agent.
And that's it. We only work with travel agents because we believe in that, and like our business is up 18% this year, and that is just on the back of travel agents booking with us. So quite clearly there is a need for travel agents and a demand for consumers, and I think it's gone full circle because a lot of people now are cash rich and time poor. So they've got the money to spend, but they've not got the time. Even, I'm sure you're the same looking at your own holiday. Oh my God, I hate it.
Not even looking at my customers' holiday. Sometimes I lose the will to live with the amount of time it takes. And they've no idea that, you know, to get that, you know, luxury holiday over the line, there could have been 8 to 10 hours, maybe even more work from me. And the same with your guys. It's quite frustrating sometimes.
And it's the knowledge and expertise as well. So like we could all go online and see a pretty picture and think, oh, that hotel looks nice, that resort looks nice. But God only knows what you're going to get when you end up there. But by booking through an agent and a tour operator, you know, you're speaking to people who know these properties and destinations inside out and can ensure, you know, your hard-earned cash, which you've been saving all year for this amazing holiday, you know, you're going to have an amazing holiday. And
I think also what customers probably don't understand is the relationships that you've got with your suppliers is invaluable. Oh, yeah. Because they're going to allocate the nice rooms. Yeah. And I know this for an absolute fact because last week I was over in the Channel Islands and I had to book one night with, I'm just going to say it, booking.com. Mm-hmm. And as a travel agent, that broke my heart. But it was supposed to be cheaper to book with booking.com than the rate I could get myself. But when I got there, I was in a cupboard. And the second night I was with a supplier who put me in an ocean view, But I didn't really want to move after one night. Yeah. But booking.com customers are obviously, it's the cheapest of the cheap. So you're going to get the cheapest.
I was going to say, you get what you pay for. Correct. And I think people forget that. And that's it with luxury as well. Like, I think these days, most people, when they're going on holiday, because it is something that they've worked hard and they're looking forward to, they want it to be nice. They want it to be as luxury as it can be. And I think most people, particularly those traveling long haul, want at least a nice 4-star or a 5-star. Like, you want to go and not be worrying that you're in a cupboard or you're looking over the bins in the back. You want to know that you're going to have the best experience possible. And by booking through an agent and a tour operator, you're giving it, 100% to try and make sure that happens.
And I think that's what people don't understand when they're booking. So I don't want to go on and on about my cheeky comment in TikTok, but yeah, I hope he's listening.
Yeah, definitely.
So what would you say is your biggest, did you say Europe's been really big for you, but what's been your biggest growth in the last 12 months with If Only?
It would be Europe, So it blows my mind. So when I look at our top destinations, it makes me very happy that Maldives is still number one because that is our bread and butter and that is at the core of what we do. Yeah. I know. And like after these 24 years, still number one. Middle East always does well for us. And even though it's been quite a tough year with a lot of people not wanting to travel in that direction, it's still our second top selling.
So when you talk about Middle East, you would say like Dubai.
Yeah, Dubai's number 2. I think Abu Dhabi was in our top 5. So
Abu Dhabi is really an up and coming destination for people who have maybe done Dubai to death.
Exactly.
They just still enjoy the culture and the experience of the quality of the Middle East, but want something different.
Yeah,
so
that's it. So we're also seeing kind of like Ras Al Khaimah, Fujairah, Oman, like those other Emirates, they're getting more and more popular. But interestingly, year to date, our third biggest destination is Greece.
That's
which is
amazing,
wild.
I know.
And for somebody who's worked for a long haul operator for 7 years, who's only just started doing Europe, I can't believe the lengths and steps that we've made into this market, and we've really kind of established ourselves now. But there is some amazing luxury product out in Greece.
You just have to look at Icos.
Yes,
I mean,
stunning.
if the listeners haven't heard of Icos, I say Icos, some people say Icos, but basically it's IKOS.
Yeah.
The quality of those products,
It's another level,
especially for families.
Yeah. And I think in years gone by, you had to go long haul to get that kind of quality of product. But now they're really kind of stealing a march in Europe, and it's all inclusive, but it's like literally ultra all inclusive.
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough to have stayed at a couple, unfortunately not on my own holiday, but on work trips for a couple of nights, and you literally struggle to spend money when you're there. Like the wine list, the wine cellars that they have like hundreds and hundreds of different wines, and that's all included. So say if we were going for dinner and I wanted rosé and you wanted champagne, they'd bring us a bottle of each and open it. It's just insane. So yeah, that kind of product is just done so well. So it's people who are going to Europe not because they're wanting to save money by not going long haul. As we said, that's not often the case. They're spending a lot of cash, but what they're getting is
value
gorgeous.
for money.
Yeah.
And the Greek hotels as well.
Yeah.
They are absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Really, really nice product. And again, we've done a lot with those guys this year, and they have some really nice all-inclusive options. And it is interesting. A lot of people do like to look at all-inclusive, even when it comes to luxury, because we want to budget. We want to know that we can go on holiday and really enjoy ourselves and not be worrying about the bar bill at the end of the trip. So luxury all-inclusive is really, really come in.
I've got a few clients who have got older teenagers, teenagers into their 20s, and they still want to go on family holidays, but going all-inclusive is absolutely a no-brainer for them, because the young folk can go out and have a really good holiday without having to worry about how much they're spending on
That's it.
Bank of Dad.
Yeah, completely. And people can kind of go off and if you have got older teenagers, they can go and have dinner in one place and parents can go have dinner in another, and it's still all included, and they know that the kids aren't a million miles away. So yeah, that it has been interesting seeing that growth in that luxury Europe piece. And that's why Greece, I think, was number 3. But then actually Spain was in our top 10 as well. So we actually do quite a lot to the Canaries.
Okay.
And we were saying about Tenerife, the amount of luxury products in Tenerife now, which I think people associate Tenerife with that kind of like bucket and spade, 3-star.
When I started going to Tenerife, I mean, I know you go to Tenerife a lot. It's one of your favourite places. Costa Adeje didn't even exist.
No.
It was Las Americas.
Yeah.
Which did
The
have
Veronica's,
that.
the
Veronica's
nightclub area.
Oh, I mean, we all did it though.
Yeah.
But Las Americas is even really up their game, and the amount of 5-star hotels in Tenerife.
There's some really, really nice products out there. And that's the thing. I think that's why we've seen that growth in Europe this year, because, people don't always want to go on a longer flight, and that's fine. There's a lot of people who love that. And as we were saying, the world is accessible. But it is nice that we have got options that are a little bit closer to home now, where they can still get that amazing service, amazing food, amazing drink. So no, the Europe thing has been massive for us this year, and it's great.
And Italy as well, that's been...
Yeah, super popular. And we've actually added more Italy products into our portfolio this year. Not just the kind of beach stuff. People are wanting to do the lakes, the Lake Garda, Lake Como. We've got some really nice multi-centre itineraries, and we've actually got rail as well. Rail's getting quite
Rail's
popular.
good in Italy though, I have to say. We get a lot of people who maybe want to do Rome combined with Sorrento. I have to say Sorrento is one of my favourite places in the world. It's absolutely beautiful. I love the Italian lakes as well, but Sorrento is just one of these places that just oozes luxury.
Yeah.
Even just
That's
going for
it.
a cocktail or a coffee, it's a lovely
Very
experience.
glamorous, I think,
As
Italy.
people watching is, absolutely love Sorrento. I would go there in a heartbeat.
But no, Italy has definitely been an interesting one, and we've seen people asking more and more for it. And then we've added in kind of Croatia and Montenegro as well.
Yeah, Croatia's an interesting one, and you're just back from Croatia. You were in conference last week.
It was really, really nice. I actually went as a little girl when it was Yugoslavia, so that was a long time
you're
ago.
showing your age.
I know. And I remembered it being nice, but I'd forgotten how beautiful it was and how accessible it is as well. Like, I flew out of Manchester and it was 2.5 hours, but I don't think it'd be that much longer out of Glasgow.
No, it's not.
So really, really easy to get to. I think if you are heading out there, the weather was turning a little bit iffy. So I think it is more of a June to August, early September kind of destination. But I'd go for 4 nights, almost for a city break. But yeah, that's another thing, city breaks. We have started to add more of those in because I think a lot of people kind of maybe want, as opposed to just doing that 2 weeks, they want more smaller holidays.
Yeah,
so we're seeing a lot more of different durations, even to beach destinations. Like when I was a kid, you went on holiday for 7 nights minimum. It was 7 or 14 nights.
That was it, once a year.
Yeah.
If you were lucky.
Exactly. But now we get a lot of people going to the likes of Greece or Cyprus or Italy just for 5 nights, for 6 nights, for 9 nights. And again, that's the beauty of booking it with an independent tour operator like ourselves. We can offer that flexibility.
Mix and match with airlines and things.
Completely. So it could be, if it is Europe, we can pick up the low cost even. And I know they're not always very luxury, but for their ease of flying from the regional airport, people are happy to jump on an EasyJet or a Jet2 or a TUI and then save the cash for the nice luxury hotel when they get to resort. So, yeah.
So city breaks are popular then?
Yeah, we're starting to kind of get into that area a little bit more. We've got kind of like Athens, Palma, a lot of the destinations.
Marrakesh, that is
which we
hugely
don't
popular.
do Morocco
do you
at the
not?
moment, but we've been talking about it a lot actually, because that seems to be one destination that does seem to be, everybody seems to be there. Like a lot of my kind of agent friends, I can see their posts and the holiday in there.
I'm just watching people on Instagram with, because I wouldn't have ever really linked Morocco as being super luxury.
Me neither. I've been twice and I hated it, and I didn't have a luxury experience.
I am totally with you in that, but when I'm watching people's Insta posts, I'm thinking, that looks really, really beautiful. Yeah. Watch this space, because it could be...
It could be the next new kid on the block when it comes to refining products.
But you talked at the start about the new offering of the sports products.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so sports is something we've been looking at for a while, and I'm sure you'll agree, there seems to be... Well, all we ever have on in my house is sports anyway. But more and more people who want to go and experience their favourite sport, be it a Grand Prix, they want to go watch the golf, they're going to want to go watch the cricket, the tennis. And I think sometimes people really want to do this, but don't have any idea of how to do it, how much it costs, could they even afford to do it? So we launched our sports product in August, and we've put together all of these really, really nice packages that are just straightforward: flights, accommodation, transfers to and from your event, and a ticket for your event. So be it a Grand Prix, be it a golf match, be it tennis, be it the horse riding. They're all overseas because we don't actually do anything in the UK. So unfortunately, we can't book you Wimbledon, but we can book you kind of like the Open in Australia or in the States. Much more fun. But like our Grand Prix packages are leading in at like 2.6 to go to the Doha Grand Prix, and that's for like 4 nights accommodation, return flights,
in a luxury
hotel. So it's going really, really well. But it does actually blow my mind the amount of people who, when it comes to sports, they'll splash the cash. So money is no object. They might scrimp and save on the family holiday, but if they want to go with the boys, sorry, I shouldn't pigeonhole people.
You're absolutely,
but to go watch a Grand Prix in Vegas,
absolutely right. I mean, going back a number of years ago, when one of the Glasgow football teams, which isn't blue, got into Europe, we organised a trip to Seville. I've since done it for my team as well, but Celtic were in Seville in Europe, and we put this flight on, and it was absolutely crazy money. It sold out in minutes.
It's nuts, isn't it?
But the area I was working in at the time, it meant that nobody went on a family holiday that year. So we were left with all this family stuff
That you couldn't
because
shift.
Dad and the boys had all gone to the football because it was non-negotiable. Their team was in Europe, so we're going regardless.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right with that comment.
It is crazy. But no, it's got off to a fantastic start. And because we've got these packages together, our agents have been able to promote the fact that you can actually book these things through your local travel agent. You don't have to go to some random online sports specialist.
And there are a lot of random online sports specialists
Yes,
that I
there
would be
are.
very wary about giving my £2,600
Exactly.
to. So.
Like, we're accredited now with so many of the different kind of sporting, I can't think of the word for them, but like, you know, with the Grand Prix, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, you're booking a package through a tour operator, which is fully bonded. Your flights are going to be booked. Your transfer is going to turn up. You've got a room in a hotel and you're actually going to have a genuine ticket. So yeah, no, it's really, really exciting. We've been asked for some weird and wonderful ones already, but because of the contacts that we now have, we've been able to get tickets.
And that'll just build as
it will, definitely. So boxing, NFL, a few of the different ones aside of the like normal ones you'd think of, maybe like golf and the Grand Prix.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we get asked a lot for the boxing in Vegas, which
so we've had that. So yeah, it's gone really, really. We're actually kind of shocked how well it's gone. So yeah, watch this space as we kind of evolve that and add more things.
And I think every year it's always exciting from a travel agent's point of view is what is If Only going to do next? Because you said you started off in the Indian Ocean, and then, you know, every year you're going on to a new destination.
Yeah.
So we don't quite take bets on it, but there's always what is next?
Where will we go next? And that's the thing. I think it's been, obviously, over the 24 years, it's been a real kind of gradual process. And one thing that we're very, very kind of precious about is we're a luxury tour operator. We won't just think, oh yeah, that's great, we'll start selling it. We'll only launch it and sell it if we know we've got the right product and the right people to sell it.
Your reputation's too good.
Oh, massively. It's like I often get asked about South America. That's like one of the areas that we don't feature. And again, never say never. But we've just never had the right product and the right people to sell it. So why would we do it and not do a good job of it?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been nice that we've added the Europe and the sports. And I think we'll kind of continue to add to different destinations from a Europe perspective. I think sports will continue to grow, but maybe Morocco might be the next.
Yeah, well, watch
the
this
next
space.
one.
You heard it here first. Yeah.
Exclusive.
Well, thank you so much, Gemma. I can't believe we're out of time.
That's
Every conversation I have with my suppliers, we just run out of time. But it's been lovely to have you on the podcast, and we'll definitely get you back on and tell us what's next.
Yeah.
But basically, if you're looking for a luxury holiday, if Only doesn't do it, then it's not a luxury holiday.
Not worth going.
Is that a good strapline, actually?
Like that. We'll actually steal that one off you.
Yeah, definitely. And as I say, it doesn't matter whether it's, I always tell clients, everything is possible for the right budget. So even if you're looking for a private jet, we've got you covered at If Only. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Another episode of Let's Talk About Travel. Thank you so much for joining us, and look forward to the next one.